Hey, Motorman here. If you watched my video last week, we talked about leaning, turning, and swerving quickly, counter steering, low speed steering, etc. And I was out on the bike doing this, and a lot of people complained. They said, well, we want to see exactly how it works from several different angles. So that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to take you out to the parking lot. I'm going to show you some scenes from my Ride Like a Pro experience video so that you can see exactly how it's done and how to master these techniques. If you think you don't need any technique and you just hope for the best out on the road, well, it's not going to help you. When somebody gets in your way and you have to lean, turn, and swerve very quickly, you could be in big trouble. I know this from 25 years of experience that I watch my students, and it's usually 3, 4, 5 times going through an exercise before they actually get it. Out on the road, you got one shot at it. In addition, on this video, if you watched last week's, I showed you about the Viking bags, and some people complained about it and said they sat too far out from the motorcycle, and you may be right. So I'm going to show you the new improved Viking bags that I put on my Lowrider S as well. So last week I showed you how to do this out on the road, get up to 10 miles an hour, get in the friction zone, and start turning those bars aggressively, left to right, right to left. This leads me into a U-turn. By the way, I'm on a DCT Goldwing here, so I just need a little throttle against a little brake. And if you can't make a simple U-turn, especially if you got 2 people on the motorcycle, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be ugly. You're going to have to duck walk that motorcycle around that you paid so much money for. Then the wife's going to have to get off the bike and push, and she's not going to like that. And here's the counter steering exercise I showed you out on the road. Here we're doing it with some cones. I think I got 5 of them spaced at 30 feet apart. We start at 20 miles per hour, and then we raise it up to 30 miles an hour. Push forward on the left grip, the bike leans left and goes left. Push forward on the right grip, it leans right and goes right. Here you can see it from above. If something gets in your way out on the road, you've never practiced this, I guarantee you're going to hit whatever it is you're trying to avoid. Here's one I didn't show you last week. This is a figure 8, and you're not going to do a figure 8 out on the street, but practicing it here will have you using your head and eyes to the extreme. That's what you need to do to avoid crashes. It'll have you turning the motorcycle quickly from full left lean to full right lean. And these are 3 tiny women. If they can do it on a 100-pound motorcycle, so should you. We also have all this information available at the Ride Like a Pro experience video, Surviving the Mean Streets video, and they're available on USB or DVD or download. $34.95, the best money you'll ever spend on your motorcycle. All right, as promised, I'm going to show you these Viking 32L bags. These are a little bigger than the other ones I had on there, and they mount very close to the fender. A lot of people complain that the other bags stick out a little bit too far, and like I said, if if that bothers you, get the next size bigger, and you get these easy mount brackets. I'm going to show you how to install it, but it's just 2 bolts, and they mount really close to the bike. You can see the difference between the 27L on the left and the 32L on the right. As you can see here, the 27L bags, if you take them off, this bracket remains on there. And it's not the prettiest thing. Of course, if you always leave your bags on the bike, that shouldn't bother you, but they still will stick out further than the other side, which I'm going to show you momentarily. Now with the larger bags, the 32L, this is all that's left when you take off the bags is this docking hardware. All right, this is the hardware that you're going to get with the bags, and it's all you need to install them. You've got the 2 bolts, spacers, and the docking hardware is actually attached to the bag. So you want to release the clip inside so you could take these out. And I'll show you how you assemble them. So this is what it should look like. You've got the bolt, the docking hardware, and the spacer, and then you bolt this to the motorcycle. And you want to use this guide. I'm going to show you exactly how this works, but it's important because if you don't use this guide when you turn the bolts and tighten them up, you could have a problem latching the bags down. So this piece, actually what that does is it allows you to tighten these bolts, and when they're completely tightened, they're not going to move from left to right or right to left because there is just a little bit of play in this. And if you don't use this tool, like I said, when you mount the bag on there, try to latch it down, you're going to have some problems. Now once the bolts are snug down, and of course you want to use Loctite on the bolts, you just pull this piece off. You're not going to need this anymore. It's just to make sure it's aligned properly for when you attach the bags. When you push this down, if it's catching that little piece there, you'll hear just a slight click. And of course, to pick it up, just squeeze these two things together right here and lift it up. I heard the click, and now the bag is secure. So all right, that's what it looks like, and I think these bags actually look a little bit better than the 28L because they dip below the fender, and of course they're a little bit bigger, easier on and off, and when you take it off, there's no hardware left that is actually visible. Hope you enjoyed this. Oh, by the way, it takes, you got 2 bolts, really. This is all you got to put in. It takes about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Take your old bolts out, put the new ones in, and then make sure you use that guide piece so that when you tighten down the bolts, it actually snaps on there well. And you may have to open them up a couple of times, pull this latch up and down a few times to break it in a little bit. It makes it easier to get on and off, and you want to make sure that it is latched as I showed you all the way down. So you're wondering how big are they? I know it's tough to tell with the camera, but just to give you an idea, I got a full-size leather jacket in here. Not much more room to spare, but it does fit the jacket. Pretty bulky jacket, it fits that. And of course on the other side you could get a couple of pair of boots, jeans, whatever you want to, yeah, good for a 2 or 3 day trip. But looking at it from the back, they look much better because they're really tight to the motorcycle. Looks like it was made for it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you next time.